Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I just wanted to show you guys a day in the life on a Sunday afternoon for us. So we spent the morning going to church and we went out and we ate lunch, and so now we have to come home and we really just like to spend our Sunday afternoons at home, hanging out, just getting ready for the week and just taking it slow. So I am filling up my flour because I am going to be trying a new bread recipe that I am so excited about. It's a butter bread, and y'all, it is to die for. Truly the best bread I think I have ever made. Um, it is just 1 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 4.5 teaspoons of yeast starter. And so I'm going to kind of mix all of that together first. I did get a recipe online. I modified it a little bit, kind of did it more my way. But you give it a really good stir. And I like to melt the sugar in with the warm water before I add in that yeast starter. But like I said, just 4.5 teaspoons of the yeast starter. And then I'm just going to stir it up really good and just kind of let it get all foamy and bubbly. It does call for 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. And so this is different than my normal bread recipe. My normal bread does not call for egg. So when I saw that, and I've really been wanting to try a recipe with egg in it because it sounds so good. And I also have 1 cup of warm milk. You don't want to add cold milk, it'll kill your yeast starter. So I'm just going to pop it in the microwave, y'all. Do what you do. If you want to heat it over the stove top, is that the better thing to do? Sure, and I like to use my stove when I can, but sometimes I don't have time. I just need to get it done. I need to just, and my microwave is my safe haven. If you notice earbuds in my ears, sorry, I'm a mom, so I triple task. I was doing my Sunday chores and filming and catching up on fun fact about me. I am a true crime podcast junkie. Crime Junkies is it's my drug, my drug of choice. And so I have to catch up on new episodes every week, and I just, some people like to listen to music. Some people just like to, my house is never quiet. So I sometimes just pop my headphones in. This is my me time, I like to call it, and just do all the things that I need to do and enjoy listening to my podcast. So, like I said, so this calls for 2 eggs, technically 1 full egg, and then 1 just egg yolk. I don't know if it'd make a huge difference if you just put just 2 full eggs in there, but I was like, I'll give it a shot. So you see me trying to get all of the egg white out of the egg yolk. You will see me keep looking down at my phone. This was a brand new recipe, guys. I literally found it online right before I started filming, and so I was like, I hadn't even really read it. I don't really know what's coming next, so I'm just kind of winging it. But y'all, it turned out so good. I was really, really impressed. I put the egg in there, stir it up. I go ahead and just put everything in my starter, all the wet ingredients. Well, most of them. I didn't put the honey in yet. And went ahead and mixed it up. I let it sit for a few minutes just till it really started foaming, and then I went ahead and put it in my mixer, and then I put in 1/4 cup of honey, and I think this is why it's a little bit sweeter too, is because I did 2 tablespoons of sugar as well. So, oh, and there is my softened butter because I didn't take it out prior to making this, therefore I had to just nuke it. And then you just put in 1 cup of flour and, oh, I can't forget salt. That's right. I think I did is it two? 2 teaspoons. That's a teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm trying to do this from memory. And then I just turn it on. I did put in 1 cup of flour as well. And then I realized I didn't have my apron on, and if y'all know me, you know I'm a messy cook. So I had to put that on. and I just let it kind of go. And I think I ended up putting, it called for 7 cups. I ended up putting in probably more like 9. I don't know. Every time a recipe calls for certain cups, I always have to put in so much more. I think it's just because the summers in North Carolina are so humid, and the humidity in the air really, it changes your recipe. I also recently learned that if you were to go by weight, weight can be very different with your flour than just measuring it out. But I just kind of, I don't really keep count. I just keep putting it in until it looks right. Once you've kind of made bread a few times, you just kind of know what to look for and how it's starting to form together. And so it's all just kind of based on feel. And so that's what I'm doing. But so I did want to mention, so this is a Sunday afternoon, and I wanted to ask, so does anybody follow Sabbath? It is something I've really been interested in doing. With my lifestyle, our lifestyle at home, I don't think that is something I could actually do every single week, but I like the idea of practicing Sabbath at least once a month. And I am just curious, if you practice Sabbath, what are some things that you do to, first of all, prep for Sabbath? And then just how, explain your day. What do you guys just rest? I mean, I would truly like to know. I think that we would all benefit from a day of rest. Um, it's hard to think about how to do that though in this world. And maybe we just overcomplicate things. But that is something that's really been on my mind and on my heart lately. And so that is something that I'm looking into. Obviously, I did not practice Sabbath today, but it is something that I really would like to do in the future. So this dough was very different than my normal dough that I make. I don't know if it was the egg that was added in it or what, but it was tough to work with. I was like, man, like I don't know, it didn't fold like, it was just a different texture. Usually my dough is super, super soft, and this one was like not having it. So that was something that was definitely different that I wasn't expecting. And so I was like, okay. So I was like, let's just put this in a ball and let's just go ahead and just let it rise, let it double in size. And I think I let it do that for 45 minutes. I just put it in a bowl, put it in a little, make it a little ball, make it look nice, and then set it on the stove top and let it rest for 45 minutes. And I am, even though this dough was hard to work with, it's worth figuring out. I don't know if it's just because I added maybe like a tablespoon or too much of flour. So I might try to add or take away just a little bit of flour next time and see if maybe that was it, or if this is just the dough. I really don't know. But like I said, it was my very first time, so it's all a work in progress. And y'all don't laugh at me. I know I have flour on my face, and I walked around with flour on my face for a good bit, and nobody in my family bothered to tell me that it was everywhere, all over me. Like, why? I feel like I could not do anything without just making a mess somewhere. And so, but anyways, I needed to catch up on some laundry. We had just gotten so behind, and I feel like if I don't do a load every single day, it falls way behind. I think I ended up doing like 3 loads of laundry today on this day, which is fine. I mean, we're a family of 5, and my kids, I, I don't know how they go through clothes so much. It's like I look at their laundry basket at the end of the week, and I'm like, how did you go through all of this? I don't remember you wearing this, and so I'm convinced that they are putting clean clothes in the laundry basket. But I have yet to see them do it in action, so I have no proof. So, I mean, it's all good though. So we're just gonna fold all this laundry, get it done, and just really get us a good fresh start for the week. So I have been diving into my Bible lately, and I just happened to flip to Proverbs this week. And this Bible verse really stuck out to me. It's Proverbs 3, verses 1 through 4. My son, don't forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commands, for they will bring you many days, a full life and well being. Never let loyalty and faithfulness leave you. Tie them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will find favor and high regard with God and people. And I don't, it really spoke to me because I feel like, especially in today's society, everybody is forgetting the teachings from the Bible. Everybody is doing their own thing. Everybody is just, flying by the seat of their pants of how they feel that day or, whatever. And my pastor had actually said this, and it was really funny. He was like, people who say just follow your heart is very stupid advice. Because it is. I mean, our hearts are not, we are not naturally, we're sinful. We were made from sin. Like, our hearts will mislead us, misguide us. And I just thought that this was such a good passage. Don't forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commands, for they will bring you many days, a full life, and well being. So, and it's the Bible tells us exactly what to do, right? Like, follow the teachings, follow the commands, stay in the word, and you will live out it's a happy life, is the way I take that. I mean, sure, you're never going to have a perfect life. Of course not. You're going to have really hard days, and I don't think that the Bible is telling us that we're not going to have struggles. It's for sure is not telling us that. But if we have a good, solid relationship with God, it will lighten our load. The hard days will come, the bad seasons will be here, but we know we're not alone, and that in itself makes it so much better. And I don't know, it was on my heart, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. I am not full of wisdom. I am not, but I try to read my Bible every day, and this was a passage that just really spoke to me. So, anyways, I went outside um, just to collect some eggs, let the chickens out. I try not to let them out before church when we're not home, just because we have foxes and coyotes and dogs and stuff. And so I went out and let them out and grabbed some eggs and went over and visited my goats. So I don't know if you guys have seen my goats or not before, but I love my little goats. So I have one Nubian and four Nigerian dwarf goats. They're all dairy goats, and they are the cutest things on the planet. I have my big Nubian is Marigold, and then I have, oh look, okay, I promise I'm not hurting them. So with goats, you have to trim their hooves every so often, and it's been a while since I've trimmed them, so I was going through and checking their hooves and seeing how they were looking, and surprisingly, for as long as it's been since I've trimmed them, they were not looking too shabby. So I was really happy about that. But they're precious. So we got them to originally breed them and milk them, and then we decided to expand our family more, and we added Maddie, and so obviously that just kind of slowed our roll with what our end goal is with them. But it is still in our future plans. It is something that we still want to do. I'm just trying to figure out what season I am ready to start that, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to have two goats and milk at once or just one, and if it's only one, do I go ahead and do my Nubian or do I do my Nigerian dwarf? I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, it's something that I'm still thinking about, and I can't wait for that season to come. But while in the waiting, I'm just enjoying their cuteness and their sweetness and just all the love that they bring our family. So, another thing that if you know me, you know that I am a coffee addict. It is amazing. I need the caffeine. Is it good for you? I don't know. I mean, there could be worse things. So we definitely drink a lot of coffee in our house. We go through about 2 pots a day. Large pots, 14 cups. So that's a lot. It's about 28 cups a day. But it's fine. But I need to go up and just, with it being Sunday, I like to go, and since I've gotten my mudroom bench straw cleaned up, I like to go in once a week and just make sure all of the baskets are cleaned up and all the shoes are in the right place, and just, move everything, put it where it's supposed to go, get rid of any trash that I see, because people just love to, and it's so easy because we Amazon a lot for bags to just, like, we open them, we throw them down on the mudroom bench, and then they ended up getting tucked behind our jackets and coats and purses and stuff, and then you don't really see it. And so I like to try to go in there once a week and just clear everything out and make it look fresh and new, just to get us up to a good start on Monday mornings. Luckily, everybody kind of just hangs out at home on Mondays, well, all the time, really. And so I really appreciate the fact that we don't have much rush. I really enjoy slow living. I really enjoy just everybody being together. We are very blessed because my husband works from home and I get to be home, and it's such a blessing. And it is something that I don't take for granted because, we have been through it. Like, I mean, I remember when my oldest was an only child and we lived about an hour away from where my husband worked, and it was hard because he didn't get off work till 5:30, and then he wouldn't be home till after 6:30. And especially in the fall and winter time, by the time he got home, it was pitch black dark outside, and then my son was going to bed at 7:30. And so we never really saw him. And so for parents and families who go through that, I feel for you. It is so hard. And, I'll be praying for you because it's just, I can't imagine at this point not ever being able to see my husband and all of us not being together. And it is a treasure. It is something that I will just never take for granted. And so I wanted to let you mamas know, those of you who are momming by yourselves 12 plus hours a day, like, I see you. You are superwoman and you're doing a great job. So, anyways, this little accent table, side table, what would you call this? Desk? I don't know. Furniture piece. That's what I'm going to call it. This little furniture piece. So, I found this on the side of the road years ago. And I brought it home and I just cleaned it up. I took the knobs off and or the pulls, and I spray painted them gold. And there was, where this really junky area is, there was these kind of really ugly doors on them, so I just pulled them off. They were like on this track or something, I don't know. And it has just kind of hung out. It's funny because I've updated all of my furniture except for this because I really like it. I like that it's not perfect. I like that it's not new looking. I really like the worn in look. And I don't know. It's an appealing piece of furniture to me. Obviously it's not very appealing when we have pieces of board games hanging out of it. Y'all don't follow me with my organizations. That's not something I'm gifted with, but I'm trying. I'm trying really hard to get better. Again, I'm not a minimalist at all, but I am trying. So it's so bad, guys. Like, I have my records and I don't put them back in the case sometimes. I just, y'all just shield your eyes from this. I'm sorry. I know. I need to be better. I need to do better. I'm trying. And a lot of these game boards I'm actually going to be throwing away because the pieces are missing and they never get played with and they just end up all over the place. And I need a good organization for board games because that is something that happens often in our house. Board games, like, the kids will be playing board games, the next thing I know, like, pieces of Sorry are missing and cards are, they disappear, and slowly over time things just vanish out of plain sight, and I don't know what happens. So, getting rid of a lot of these things, especially with my daughter, she's mobile, and I'm just trying to baby proof as much as possible without going overkill. I mean, she's my third, and so obviously I have two older sons, and we can't completely baby proof everything. We do have a little baby, I call it a baby jail for her. That's like her safe place. And so that's somewhere where, like, if I can't be around following her, I put her in there, and it's got all of her toys in there, and it's all just Maddie proofed friendly things. And that is a godsend. I am so grateful for that little baby jail. So it looks like my bread is done proofing, and it has risen. So I'm just going to kind of punch it down just a little bit. And so I was looking at this dough, and I had no idea how many loaves I was going to make prior to this. I mean, I knew that it called for 7 cups of flour. I ended up putting 9. It was definitely too much for just one, because I like to bake large loaves. I think I do like a 4 by 13 usually. I think that's what my big one is. I could tell, though, it was definitely too big for just one of those, but it was too small for 2 of those. But it was also going to be too big for 2 5 by 9s, 4 by 9s, whatever the small loaf pan is. And so I was like, So I was just kind of giving it a good feel. And I was like, I'm just going to play around and guess here. So I did end up doing 1 4 by 13 and 1 4 by 9. And I think that's I'm pretty sure that's the right dimensions. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And I guessed right. So after a while, after you start playing around with dough and just feeling the density and whatnot, you kind of get a good feel for sizes on things. And so I just went with my gut instinct here, and I was like, I hope this is right, because again, this dough, it was hard to work with. I barely had to put any flour on the counter, and I'm really not used to that. I don't know. Does y'all's dough? Maybe it's supposed to be that way, and I don't know. I prefer working with softer dough. And this was just really, oh, that's right, I did do this. So I very rarely weigh my stuff, but I wanted to know how much this weighed. And I think that's what I did, is I kind of cut it into 1/3 for the smaller loaf and then 2/3 for the larger loaf, roughly. But I don't know. I weighed it. I cut it to where I thought it looked right. And then that's what I went with. And also, I love a good third hand. If y'all don't have one, you need to get one. I'm pretty sure they sell them at Dollar Tree. They are amazing. And I couldn't make my bread without them. I mean, I could. It would make my life a lot harder, though. And so, anyways, so yeah, that's what I did. And it worked. So I was very happy about that. Does anybody else use their Sundays to just kind of catch up and get ready for the entire week? I've seen some people, they do their meal planning on Sundays. I have not been super good as far as meal prepping and things like that. That is something that I do want to get better with. But it is definitely something that's been in the back of my mind for a while, is to just use Sundays and prep for the whole week. And because our weeks get so busy, especially so in the fall now, for us to homeschool, I feel like, are going to be the busiest people on the planet. I mean, we have baseball practices, baseball games, co-ops. We have 2 different co-ops that we're doing. We have art class. My middle son, we do send him to preschool. He loves it, and he's so excited to be going back. And I am so blessed that we have such a fantastic program for him. And I trust those ladies with him. You know, they are the best. And so I'm so grateful that we get that help, and that he is just able to go and do that. And it really helps me be able to sit down with my oldest, Hayden, and dedicate some time with him, and just, get school knocked out while he's there. I mean, Hudson's only at preschool for like 3 hours a day. He goes from 9 to 12. But it is, it gets him out to go play, because it's really hard when you're, 2, 3, and 4 years old. You're not old enough for co-ops yet. You're really just kind of in limbo as far as just kind of being dragged around for your older siblings. And so it was really hard to find him something that's just his. He does play baseball and he loves that. But, he really enjoys having something that's his, something that he gets to go to and play with his friends his age and, just do something that's for him. And so that's something that I am very happy that we are able to, provide him with and give him that opportunity. And I think it'll better prepare him too because he learns so much. He's going to be learning to read this year, and that is a huge blessing. So we're going to see how that goes. He's still super young, so there's not any stress there. If it clicks, awesome. If it doesn't, that's fine too. He'll be homeschooled next year for kindergarten, and we'll start working on it then as well. But just getting him introduced to that and whatnot is awesome. I am super excited for him. My youngest daughter, Maddie, she is almost a year old. I can't believe it. She's 10 months old. And so I'm already planning her birthday party. And it is a pretty and pink themed because she's my only daughter. And her birthday is in my favorite month. It's in October. And it is the best month in the year, in my opinion. I love the change of the seasons. I love when it starts to cool down, but it's not ice cold yet. I love the leaves falling. And yes, y'all, I will be basic. I love a good pumpkin spice latte. Once fall is here, honestly, once September hits, all of the fall dishes are going to be made. I'm going to be making apple pies and all the pumpkin things. And it's just, I love fall weather, and I will happily take that right on into after Thanksgiving. And yes, we are those people. We will go to the mountains and cut our Christmas tree down the day after Thanksgiving, which some people might know as Black Friday, but we call it Christmas shopping day, or Christmas tree shopping day, I should say. And we go to the mountains and we go and find a perfect tree and chop it down and bring it back. And it is one of our favorite family traditions. And talking about fall, I was really in a fall mood. I had a fall candle burning. I don't know if you noticed that when I was folding laundry, but that was a fall candle burning in the background. And I have Thieves. If you are familiar with Young Living, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is an essential oil blend cleaner. And I have some, but I don't really like to use it in the summertime just because I like to use lemon and stuff in the summer. It just smells more summery. But with fall being right around the corner, I'm really just, even though it's 90 degrees outside, we're going to pretend like it's fall inside. So I put that in there. It smells a lot like cloves and cinnamon and just all of the yummy warm fall scents. And so I went ahead and made that. So that'll be my cleaner of choice for the season. And it makes me happy. And y'all, we have to do the little things that make us happy, right? And so I finally have the bread. It is going for its second rise. I let it rise. I think I probably let it rise for about half an hour. Put it in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes, and it came out great. Swept up, cleaned up a little bit, finally finished my tasks for the day, and now it's coffee time. And my biggest struggle is finding what coffee mug to use because I have an overabundance of them because, again, minimalism is not in my name. But man, what a just relaxing day. Baking bread, straightening up, seeing the animals. That is the kind of Sunday that I like. And then feeling accomplished, like I did something, being able to sit back in a clean home, drinking a hot cup of coffee, looking over my family, and just saying, I am so blessed. Thank you, God. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.